Hello, I'm Nicholas Whyte. I'm Senior Director in APCO's Brussels office, and I'm here to talk about 3 things to know about the Hungarian election. The first thing to say is that this was a vote for continuity and not for revolution. The incumbent government got re-elected for the 3rd time. They have got slightly less than half of the votes, but exactly 2/3 of the parliamentary seats, which is enough to change the constitution. And it's a very, very poor result for the opposition parties, not only for the democratic opposition parties, the former Labour Party and so on, but also for the far right-wing Jobbik political party, which actually lost 1/3 of its seats and its leader has had to resign. This is presumably because Viktor Orbán and his party Fidesz have to a certain extent moved to occupy their political territory. The second thing to say is that this is, of course, a victory for Viktor Orbán's style of illiberal democracy. This campaign was one that was based entirely on the fear of migrants. Rather strange, because in fact Hungary has not had that much migratory pressure. Very few migrants have come to Hungary, and I have to say that even fewer of them have decided that they want to stay. But it demonstrates the power of a consistent, convincing message in a country where the state media is pretty much under the control of the government. The third thing to say about the Hungarian election result is that it is a challenge to European values. Viktor Orbán's political party, Fidesz, is a member of the European People's Party, the biggest of the pan-European political party groups. Now, the fact is that Poland has been pushing against the European Union and has been clashing with the European Commission over democratic values, over the way in which it's been running the judiciary, over aspects of the constitutional process. The European Commission has pushed back on that, and we now see that in fact there's likely to be an accommodation. The Poles have ameliorated their position. It's going to be very interesting to see whether the Commission and whether the EU as a whole is prepared to be as tough with Viktor Orbán and with Fidesz in Hungary, because the fact is that the Polish ruling party, PIS, is not a member of the European People's Party, whereas Orbán is, and of course so is Jean-Claude Juncker, the President of the European Commission, and so is Donald Tusk, the President of the European Council, and so is Antonio Tajani, the President of the European Parliament. Will they be willing to stand up to one of their own? That's the question that we're asking in Brussels today.